Are Chelsea in a defence crisis? Antonio Rudiger, Andres Christensen, Trevor Chalobah, Cesar Azpilicueta and Thiago Silva, all five of our centre-backs in their last year of their current Chelsea contract. None of them have signed an extension, and we don't know when any of them are going to be announced. Are they going to be leaving? Are they going to be staying? Chelsea are in a defence crisis. Ligt has been offered to Chelsea, reported by The Athletic. He's currently on £280,000 a week. Will he get his move to Chelsea? We'll have to wait and see. But before I do get into all of it, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and comment down below your thoughts and opinions on each story that I do speak about. But without further ado, let's get straight into this news daily, and starting off, of course, with the Ligt news broken by Nizar Kinsella, tier 1 journalist. He has his sources, he has his connections within Chelsea. You know already, guys, you know the deal. I don't report anything when it comes to tier 4 or tier 3. Only tier 1, only tier 2, and Athletic is certainly tier 1, especially Nizar Kinsella, who actually is a journalist that represents Chelsea in the media. So he has got his sources and connections, and he stated that Chelsea have been offered Matthijs de Ligt from Juventus, but the defender is currently on £280,000 a week, and that's one of the biggest reasons why Juventus want to offload him. Not because he's a bad player, not because he doesn't fit the system, but the fact that he's on astronomical wages. And yes, they offloaded Ronaldo, who was on £600,000 a week plus, but Juventus are in a lot of financial trouble. They haven't got billionaire-backed owners. They want to be a self-sustainable model. They want to reinvest back into the team. Juventus have got a lot of aging players. A lot of players they sign on a free. So they paid massive signing on bonuses with extortionate wages because, of course, they were free agents at the time. So Juventus' wage bill is one of the highest in Europe, and they want to offload it and reduce that wage bill significantly. So understandably, they are looking to offload De Ligt. Now, De Ligt, you could argue, is Juventus' best player, easily top 3, you know, up there with Chiesa and Dybala in terms of Juventus' best player. He's easily their best player in defence. You know, he's still young, he's still 21, 22, world class. For me, he is one of the best centre-backs in Europe. He's strong, he's stoic, He's a fantastic ball-playing centre-back. He's amazing with his feet, amazing on the ball, amazing leadership skills. The guy was captain for Ajax at age 19. At age 19, this guy was captain, so he obviously has leadership skills. He has fantastic ball-playing abilities. He can play out from the back. He's confident on the ball as well. He's strong. He's, you know, as I said, he's strong. He's built like a brick house. So of course, aerially, he's gonna dominate aerially. He wins his ground duels. He wins his aerial duels again. Really good when it comes to communication, leadership, and he's young. So of course, you have that resale value. But not only that, if you want to keep him for the rest of his career, he could build a legacy at Chelsea because he's only 21, 22. So, you know, when he becomes 25, 26, he's nowhere near the finished article. He will become a generational centre-back. For me, he will be one of the best centre-backs after he retires in history. He's that good, and I really wanted him when he was at Ajax. We couldn't get him because we had that transfer ban, unfortunately. He then made his move to Juventus, but for me, they did come into Chelsea. He would immediately, instantly become top 3 centre-backs in the Premier League at only being age 22. So for me, it's a no-brainer. Yes, his wages are big, £280,000 a week. If he came to Chelsea, he would probably be on about £300,000 a week. But for me, he is worth it. He would cost north of £100 million. Again, he is worth it because he's that good of a player. He's a world-class player that instantly elevates our defence, instantly elevates our attack, and instantly elevates our team. The reason why he elevates our attack is because with De Ligt, you could then switch to a back 4. Tuchel then has a personnel. We can then add a creative attacker, and then you're going to be scoring more goals. The output and efficiency increases. You're defensively robust once again. For me, De Ligt is a no-brainer, but let's wait and see. The fact that he's been offered is good news, and I'm hoping that this story does develop indeed. But let's move on to our defence crisis. And again, talking about this defensive crisis now, this may emphasise our need for a player like De Ligt, because at the moment, we are in a very sticky situation. Imagine Chelsea right now, European champions. You've got the European pedigree. You've got a world-class manager in Thomas Tuchel. You're top of the league in England by 1 point. You know, we're well past a quarter of the season. We're heading into the Christmas season. We're heading, you know, playing in 5 competitions. Everything is rosy at Chelsea. We've just won 7-0. And you're still contemplating a contract extension. Now, of course, there is context to that, but none of our 5 centre-backs have got more than 7 to 8 months remaining on their current deal. Trevor Chalobah needs an extension. Cesar Azpilicueta is in the last year of his current contract. Andreas Christensen is in the last year of his current contract. Antonio Rudiger, as I spoke in yesterday's video, is in the last year of his contract. Thiago Silva is in the last year of his contract, and none of them do even look close to even signing one. The only one is potentially Christensen, but Rudiger, Thiago, we haven't heard anything in those two. If anything, Rudiger looks like he's leaving. Trevor Chalobah for me will be a simple one because of course he came through the ranks at Chelsea. He's just made his first team debut this season, and it's always been his dream to play for Chelsea, and he's very happy with his role. So for me, I think Trevor Chalobah is a very simple one. You could also argue the same for Cesar and Christensen. The two I'm worried about and concerned is of course Antonio Rudiger and Thiago Silva. But let's speak about it. What are the Athletics saying in regards to this? Now, in regards to Trevor Chalobah, he's apparently agreed a deal in principle to extend his Chelsea contract. A source has revealed that Thiago Silva could have the final decision on whether he signs a new contract at Chelsea. Chelsea and Cesar Azpilicueta had an initial chat regarding a new contract for the Spaniards, and further talks will take place between Andreas Christensen and Chelsea over a new contract before the new year. Chelsea feel they have made Antonio Rudiger a very good offer and have no plans to increase it. Now let's go through each defender bit by bit, person by person, starting off with Rudiger. Now, according to the Athletic report this morning, broken by Simon Johnson, again another Tier 1 journalist, Chelsea have offered a wage packet of £140,000 a week to Antonio Rudiger. Now, Antonio Rudiger's demands by his entourage and his agent is in the region of £200,000 a week. Now, there is big disparity there. £60,000 a week, that is a lot of money in between. The fact that Chelsea have offered him 140 and are not planning to increase that does concern me a lot. Why does that concern me? The reason it concerns me is, as I said, there is a big gap between that. It's not like where Chelsea have offered 180, you could say, yeah, you know what, Rudiger will probably be inclined to accept that. There is a big difference there. They may counter with 180, 170 from Rudiger's side, from Rudiger's representatives, but will Chelsea increase it? And Chelsea being very stubborn here, they're not going over 140. So for me, I'm very concerned by this. I'm very worried by this. Rudiger has got offers from PSG, Juventus, Real Madrid. If Chelsea do not wrap up Rudiger's contract by Christmas, we are in deep trouble, and we are in big trouble in terms of losing him on a free, not even getting any sort of transfer fee for him. And the fact that ever since Thomas Tuchel's come in, he's been arguably our best player, one of our best players this season. So for me, this is really concerning. I hope that Rudiger is inclined to accept the 140. Again, it is a significant increase from his current contract, which is, I believe, £90,000 a week. So he's getting a £50,000 increase, but Rudiger wants significantly more. So let's see what happens with that one. In regards to Christensen, I'm quite confident with this one. This is one of the ones I'm confident on because, again, Christensen, he came for our academy. He was on loan at Borussia Mönchengladbach for 2 years. He's been waiting to become a cemented first-team starter for a long time now. And, again, he's been putting in world-class performances. He's now, in my personal opinion, I've called it for a long time, but he is certainly a world-class centre-back. And again, that's really close. I've been hearing a lot from different publications and sources that Christensen and Chelsea are this close to actually revealing their contract extension. So further talks will take place, but for me, it's kind of final detail, just ironing out the final details. Christensen, I'm fairly confident on. Again, Trevor Chalobah, I'm also confident on, and Cesar Azpilicueta. With Cesar Azpilicueta, again, he's a Chelsea legend. He's happy to stay. He's happy with his role. I'm very confident. He hasn't been speaking about any other clubs. He hasn't been rumoured or linked with any other clubs. He's been there for 9 years, heading into 10 years now. So for me, he's already cemented his legendary status, and I'm very convinced that he will be, extending, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year contract. Again, I'm very confident on Cesar Azpilicueta's path. Now, just because I'm confident doesn't mean that we are not in a crisis defensively. We are in a crisis defensively because yes, you can be confident as much as you like, but until you see the announcement, until you see the dotted line being signed, you can't be 100% guaranteed. There's no guarantee. The fact that all of our centre-backs have got 1 year left on their contract is a massive red flag. That is a huge red flag. So yes, I'm confident, but again, if it's not done, things can fall through easily. So again, even though I'm confident, again, things can happen. But again, let's see. I'm very convinced that will happen. And again, of course, with Thiago Silva, sources revealed that Thiago Silva could have the final decision. So it's not even up to Chelsea. Chelsea haven't got the power there. Now, when Thiago Silva signed his 1 year contract extension, Thiago Silva actually wanted 2 to 3 years, and Chelsea only offered him 1 year. So he wanted to stay, but this was a few months ago. So we don't know what the situation is now. I'm pretty sure that he will be happy to stay. His family seem very settled in London. Yes, he's 37 now, but he's getting sufficient game time. He's not been surplus to requirements. I believe, again, he may sign a one-year contract. I believe it really depends on how the rest of the season pans out. If we offer him the right wage packet and he gets enough game time, and we, of course, win silverware, then why wouldn't Silva stay at Chelsea? So, again, I'm not too confident, but, again, that can always swing. I still believe that Thiago Silva will end up staying, but none of them are signing extensions yet, and Rudiger, it looks unlikely, so I'm really concerned with that one. But that is me wrapping up the news, Eddie. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see all of you guys for my next video. Peace.